continue on. So with that, I have it right at 2 p.m. Eastern. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Bob. I'm going to roll out of the screen here.
You can stay in the screen.
You want me to stay in? I don't want to be a distraction.
I can nudge her. You got to distract him.
Okay. All right. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our founder and CEO, Bob Reina. Bob, take it away.
Everybody, listen. At the Believe event, I did the Diamond Rush Fast Track training, and we've had a lot of people ask for me to do it again. It is recorded in your back office as well, but I will take the 7-minute training, the fast track, and slow it down for you a little bit to show you the best way to properly build your business. I can certainly tell you from working with all of the leadership within the company and those whose checks are the larger checks within the company, that every single person across the board is using these very simple steps, ones that can be duplicated, to build their business. So keep that in mind as I'm going through it. And again, this is the question I want you to think about when I'm doing this. I will not ask you to do one thing during this that I know that you cannot do. So again, the number one rule in the industry is this: it's not whether something works for you, but whether it can be duplicated by everybody. And quite simply, the Diamond Rush Fast Track can be. So you ready to get started? All right, let's go. All right, so the number one thing is this. People want to know, so how do you build a huge team in the industry? I've been doing it for over 20 years. Quite simply, number one, you must build and start your business with a list. Think of your list of like inventory in a traditional retail store. These are people that you're going to be talking to about the product and or the opportunity. So you must always start your business with a list. I always recommend to people start with your top 25 prospect list, and I'll go into it in a second as to whom you should be targeting first. But again, you must start it with a list. Top 25 you should write down instantly. Make sure that you add to it daily. As you're out and about, going to the mall, as you're getting gasoline, as you're taking the kids to soccer practice, you meet people all the time. They say on average, the average person meets 10 to 15 new people a week. So always make sure that your list is an organic, ongoing, growing thing. So begin with a list. But they say most people know between 300 to 500 people by name. So again, start with 25. Always grab onto it. Continue to add to it. Here's why that's important. If you have a list of 10 people and the first 3 people tell you no, it's going to hurt you a little bit. You're thinking, oh my gosh, 33% of the people have told me no. However, if your list is 300 people, 500 people, and the first couple people tell you no, it's okay. Remember, this is a numbers game that we do. Think about the people in baseball that get put into the Hall of Fame. They strike out more often than they get a hit. They strike out generally 2 out of 3 times, or get out 2 out of 3 times. So again, 300 to 500 people always add. Because here's why. 100 people who know 100 people who know 100 people equals 1 million people. Can you imagine how your check would take off if you had 1 million warm contacts with whom you're dealing with? You very easily can get that way if you make sure that you do your list and you have other people doing the same thing. Cardinal mistake that people make is they prejudge people. Well, let me think about who needs this, who needs that. Stop. Go out in any traffic at 5 o'clock, any city in the world. I promise you they need talk fusion. They want to get out of the traffic. Go to any place where people are working. You're going to find people there that want more out of life. And I ask people all the time, can you get everything out of life that went through what you're currently doing? And for most people, the answer is no. And I said, are you willing to do something about it? Yes. Those are the people that you're looking for. So do not prejudge anybody. Write down all their names. There's a lot of people that make a lot of money, but they don't have a lot of free time. So we can help them. There's some people that don't make a lot of money, but they have free time. We can help them as well, help earn supplemental. And most importantly, you must put each one through a system that they can be duplicated. That's what we're talking about. So it all starts up here. Power attitude. And what I mean by that is this. You have to go into this knowing that you're going to succeed. You can't go in timid. You can't go in, and I did it at the Believe event. I was hiding behind a banner. Oh my God, I'm worried about what people are going to say to me. No, you go in, you have to believe this, that people need talk fusion. Those people simply are in the wrong vehicle to make money. They mean well, they just don't know how to do it. They're in the wrong vehicle. You are doing people a favor, a life-changing favor, by bringing Talk Fusion into their life. So you always have to remember that. Like I said, some will, some won't. So what next? So if somebody tells you no, it's okay. It's all right. I've been rejected more so than probably anybody on this broadcast. It's okay. It happens. Just continue on, keep strong, and keep looking for the right people. And looking for the right people, solid duplication begins sorting for the right people. So what do I mean by that? Think about this. Think of it like you're shucking oysters. How many oysters do you have to shuck to find the right pearl? Think about maybe playing cards. How many cards do you have to go through before you find the aces? Remember, you get to choose who you want to be on your team, and you do that by properly constructing a list. Always be positive. Always be positive, cheery, helpful. Remember, good news is always the way to go. And then, most importantly, make sure that you shorten people's learning curve by 4 steps. And what I mean by that is this. If people took all the time that they thought that they would need to learn every product, watch every tutorial, read the compensation plan 48 times, they would be 3 months into this business and they would not have made any income because they have not done anything in terms of revenue producing activity. Remember, people make money when 2 things happen. When you sell the product to a customer, or when somebody joins as an associate and they make the decision to buy the product. We all know it's not mandatory, but when they buy product, you get paid commissions. So those are your revenue producing activities that you need to concentrate on. And the great thing about this business is you can earn while you learn. It doesn't say learn for 90 days and then start earning. And let me tell you why. Most people won't hang around for 90 days without making income. They're always more excited when they first got started. So keep that in mind. So shorten their learning curve by doing the 4 steps. Because 3 things that people will think about as you're going through the recruiting process. First and foremost is it simple? There's an expression, high tech, low check, which means if you complicate things so much, people are going to be thinking, oh my gosh, this guy's giving me a headache. There's no way I can do this. So you have to keep it simple. Number 2, can I do it? That's what people want to know. Can I do the business? What they will do is they will pay attention to what you did to recruit them into the business. So again, you have to keep it very, very, very simple. And the third thing doing it, right? So it all starts with the invitation. And I talk to leadership about this all the time. Is excitement is free. So 90% of a great invitation begins with excitement, right?
That's it.
Now,
You gotta be excited, guys. You gotta get out there and share it. You gotta be excited like I am right now. I'm screaming in Bob's ear.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say she's so excited she's screaming in my ear. Okay, now think about this. Start with excitement. Here's what I see people doing wrong a lot. You try to present the whole opportunity at the invitation stage. I call that puking. You puke all over them. An invitation should be 1 to 2 minutes of just creating excitement. You're just creating interest to get them to take a look at what we're doing. Again, do not do a presentation at the invitation stage, and very quickly, within the first 72 hours, you should have done at least 25 prospect invitations. Now, let me tell you this. If you've done 5 and nobody's going to a presentation, I would suggest that you stop and ask your upline for help, because your presentation your invitation is just not going to be compelling enough to get somebody onto the presentation. So the great thing about this industry is that people get paid when you're successful, right? So do not ever hesitate to stop and say, hey, I need help on the invitation. Can you help me adjust it? What am I not doing right, et cetera, et cetera. So that's something that can help a lot. Next thing is this, warm market, right? Use warm market to build hot commissions. Now, I'm such a big believer in warm market, and here's why. The industry that we're in is called relationship marketing, which means it's built upon relationships. So why do you want to start your list with people, your friends, your family, your coworkers? Think of it this way. If you were to have a party at your house, who would you invite? Those are the people that you want to go and talk to first. Who would you invite to the party? The reason why is this. The whole industry is built on trust. If you go into things which involve selling as opposed to telling, that means that you are using your individual sales skills to convince somebody to take a look at something. That, I promise you, cannot be duplicated. So Stay away from the temptation of, oh, I need to go buy a bunch of leads. Don't do it. It's not necessary. You're going to lose money. And I'm going to tell you right now, it cannot be duplicated. So friends do what friends do. I'm a big believer in more marketing. And let's just say, for example, I had 500 contacts of my own, and I sponsored Allison. That means that I'm now working with 500 contacts of Allison's. So now I'm working with 1,000 more market contacts. There's no need ever to go cold marketing. People that say, I don't have any more contacts, it means one of two things. You never learn how to invite somebody properly, number one. And number two is, if you did sponsor anybody, you did not know how to cultivate the power of their contacts. So again, there's never an excuse for having to go to cold marketing. And then Allie, if you sponsored, let's say you sponsored Scott, right? You ready to get started, Scott? All right, Scott's excited. That would be another 500 contacts, and now we're dealing with 1,500 contacts. Remember, 100 who know 100 is 1 million people. So always keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Kathy, I'll put you in on the next one. All right, invitation question. It's very simple. I don't even need to read it. The reason why this is important is this, is it lets people know about the market timing with what we're doing. And I'm going to tell you this right now, all of you in the company, you see the growth, what's going on, you see everything that we're doing on a daily basis. The timing has never been better for somebody to get involved in Talk Fusion. Now, all you're doing is inviting them and then directing them to a presentation, asking them, would they take 15 to 20 minutes to learn about it? That's all you have to do, is direct them to the next presentation. When I said next, correct.
Okay.
Now, here's what you do. After you have the invite question, the next step is simply direct people to the next presentation. Let's think about this. Let's say you had 10 people entering your business today, new associates entering your business today. How in the world could you train all those people, get them all the product knowledge, get them all the comp plan knowledge, everything right off the bat? You can't. So you have to put people into a system. System stands for save yourself stress, time, energy, and money. So you have to think of yourself like an air traffic controller. You're simply directing the traffic. Once you have them invited, now you're directing them to for those of you that are doing meetings in person, the next person meetings. People ask me, Bob, do you have a preference? Bob does not care. It can be online or in person, whatever works best for you. Online presentations, we do about 20 of them a day now, if not more, in many different languages. And we're getting ready to launch the business customer presentation as well. So there'll be more presentations going on every day. But what the presentations are great for is in one big swoop, your prospect gets to see the products, the comp plan, and the system and the way in which we build the business. So again, urgency to get them on the next one. I see some of you, what you do is this. Well, next presentation you can get on Tuesday at 8 o'clock, but today's Monday, for example. Why? Why are you directing people to a presentation 3 days later, directing them onto the next available presentation? Remember, it's urgency, excitement and urgency. Next, important, very, very, very important. I can certainly tell you one of the main reasons where I am in this industry, even when I was building a network, is simply because of the three-way phone call. It is so important. You cannot skip this step. People that think that you can, your business will not duplicate. I'm going to tell you right here, look at me. If you skip this step, you will fail. Totally, you will fail. This is why this is so important. It's about edification. What edification simply means is that you're saying something nice about somebody. So let's just say that I sponsored Allison today, right? And Allison wanted to introduce me to a prospect, Scott. And let's just say that I sponsored Allison today, and she's doing great. She started her list. She invited Scott. Scott went on to the presentation, and now it's ready for me to do a three-way call. This is the only thing that Allie has to just say about me to Scott, is that I'm one of the leaders in the company, and that I'm helping Allison get to her goals and her dreams, which are X, Y, Z. It's important to know that. And I can definitely help Scott too. And then that's it. She simply introduces me and then lets me help close Scott would let me answer any questions that Scott has and or overcome any objections. Okay? If Allison tried it herself, being new, if she was just new today, she would fail miserably. There's no way in the world I could expect her to be able to answer questions her first day in the business. So again, you have to put people into a position to where they can succeed. So what you do is this. Right after the presentation, Allie would call Scott and have me on the phone. And if I'm not available, make sure that you have somebody else available that can help you. So, and even when they sign up, make sure that you call and introduce them to the upline. This is a team sport, okay? It's very important. Now, while I'm talking to, give you a little coaching tip, while I'm talking to Scott on Allison's behalf, I know some things that is in common with everybody, and I call it the 4 method. First and foremost, most people would like to spend more time with their family, and that's a big reason why many people enter the world of direct selling, because they simply don't have enough family time. The second thing is occupation. Most people are in a job that they don't like, or not being paid their worth, or they don't have any future in. I already know that, so I want to gear my conversation with Scott towards that common denominator. Here, recreation. I'd ask Scott, what does he like to do for fun? Well, let's just say Scott says that he likes to play music. Well, can you do that every night of the week? No. Can you do that Tuesday at noon? No. Well, why not? Because he's working a job and he doesn't have enough free time to spend on recreation. And then money. Always ask people too, get all the money in the world, all the free time to enjoy it, right? How would your life be different? Would you drive the same car? It's going to be no for most. Would you live in the same house? No. Would you pay off credit card bills? Most people would say, yep, I would. Would you take more vacations? The answer for most people is yes. I said, would you help friends, family, with charity bills, etc.? The answer is yes. Well, can you do all that now? It's no. So believe me, most people need more money. That's a given. So I shared those things in common. Remember this. During these steps, if you're doing all the work by yourself, people won't join you, and I'll tell you why. Because they will know in the back of their mind, oh my gosh, I can't do this all myself. So they'll naturally default themselves. But if you spend just 1 to 2 minutes getting excited and directing them to the system, they'll say, yeah, that I can do. So remember, always keep it simple. To complicate means to intimidate. So don't do it. Just keep it very, very, very simple. And then step 4, which is so very critical, is this. Get people plugged into the presentation. People are never more excited than the moment that they join. So the second they get started, like if I sponsored Allison, I would be on her like instantly and say, listen, let's get your list of your top 25. How would I know she did it? Because I'd ask her, is your top 25 prospect list gone? Done. If she's not calling me for 3-way calls the first day she's in the business, that's called a clue. That means she probably hasn't even written any of her contacts down and or invited anybody. So you got to get people to get to work right off the bat. This business is so much more fun when you build it fast and slow. So we always say go 2 and 72. So the key is to personally sponsor 1 associate left, 1 associate right within your first 72 hours. Now, often about becoming an associate, we'll say, I don't want to do the business right now, but I do love the product. I want to use the product. That's okay too. But remember, if you go through your top 25 prospects in the first 72 hours, think about this, okay? When you were in school, if you came home with a 50% grade, what would happen? Mom and Dad would be upset, right? I know in my house, yes, Allie, your house too? Okay, so only thing that we're telling you to target is this. Personally sponsor 2 out of 25, which is much less than 50%, right? It's right around just a few percent. It's not much. So again, 2 out of 25, right? So 2 out of 20 is 10%, so it's even less than 10%. So it's you got to start inviting people right off the bat and put them through the system, okay? Because this is what you're after. Talk to 200 prospects as quickly as you can. The people that have gone diamond, and diamond is a level in the business where you're really beginning to reach the decision whether if you want to do this full-time, part-time. I never tell anybody leave a job. That's not how it goes here. But if you reach the level of diamond, you're putting yourself in a position where you're making some really good supplemental income. As you know from reading the screen, it's an extra $2,500 per week. I can't promise you any income because income disclaimers, everybody understands that. But you will earn a Mercedes along the way. But if you talk to 200 people, on average, once you get going, you can sponsor 1 out of 5, which would be folks on your left, and 20 personally sponsored associates on your right. And I'll tell you why that's important here on the next slide. The reason why is this. Let me just make a comment on this. People quit things in life. People quit on their family. They quit their jobs. They quit at Talk Fusion. They do other things. So if you sponsor the 40 people, out of those 40, you should have at least 5 on your left and 5 on your right that will become your business builders, become your anchor within your sales organization. So like anything else, you have to go through the numbers, because this is the question that I have for you. Within the next 2 to 5 years, can you find 40 people that are serious about changing their lives? I know you can. You just have to go out and get excited, ask the question, and get them plugged into the system. So again, network marketing is a 2 to 5 year plan. Okay, it's not a get rich quick thing. It drives me crazy when people describe the industry like that. Listen, this is a very, very hard work that we do. If you do it right, it's simple but not easy. Follow the 4 steps. It's not easy. It's hard work. I mean, most people have jobs. You come home, you have to work all day. You come home, instead of spending some family time, you have to make sacrifices. And I'll do a whole other presentation coming up on that here. We'll make an announcement here soon regarding that. But again, how fast can you go talk to 200 people to find the 40 that you need in the next 2 to 5 years? Okay. Now, here's what you have to think about. This is, like I said, a 2 to 5 year plan. I ask that each of you commit to the business to working at 7 to 10 hours a week for at least 1 year. I believe if you do that, you'll be at a place where you won't want to stop the business. But you can't become a doctor in a few months. You can't become an attorney in a few months. You can't become a plumber in a few months. You can't become anything worthwhile in life in just a few months. I mean, let's be real. Call it like it is. You have to commit to doing it. So commit for at least a year with a 2 to 5 year plan in mind. And most importantly, along the way, follow the system.
That's it. You gotta follow the system. That's it. We're done.
Sometimes things in life, which are the best, are right before your eyes. They're so simple, people might miss them. But I will tell you this. Those steps are what I did to get to where I am in this industry. And in turn, I've turned it and taught it to all the leadership, including the Ben, the Rob, the Steve Mitchells, the Nancy and Andrew Burling, all the other great leadership, Riani and Mario in Indonesia. And I mean, I could talk for the next 20 minutes about all the great leadership that we have. Svetlana, I mean, I could just go on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
But this is what we are all doing, and again, and here's why. Because it goes back to what I said before. It's not whether it works for you, but whether it can be duplicated by everybody. So I will turn it back to you and ask you the same question. Have I asked you to do anything during these 20 minutes to do that you can't do? Think about this. Can you make a list? Absolutely. Can you get excited? Absolutely. Can you ask somebody a question to ask them to take a look? Absolutely. Can you direct them somewhere to where somebody can do the presentation on your behalf? Absolutely. Can you follow up on a 3-way call with somebody afterwards? Absolutely. And can you make sure that people get plugged into a system? Yep. I believe each person has greatness within them. And one of the telltale signs of whether somebody succeeds or not is whether they're coachable or not. So always remain coachable, always work hard, and never let go of your dreams. Keep on as you're doing it. Right?
That's it.
So that's it. I mean, I wish I could throw some focus but that's how you go learn how to go diamond within your days.
It's a simplicity that allows me to then recognize all of you out in the field. And so importantly, it's important. Yeah, you need to plug in. And there's so many tours going on right now in your back office. You can click on Leader Tour, and there's all these meetings going on. I know there's a huge meeting in Brazil, and my goodness, they were at the Believe event. They were excited, and Min and Julie are there. and the Brazil team's doing great things. Curaçao's doing meetings, or there's meetings going on here in the U.S. Then also, we're going to be hosting a full broadcast, and we're going to be doing more broadcasts like this, as Bob said, another leadership development and things like that to help you build your business. But we are going to announce right now our next red carpet event, which is going to happen May 10th. It's Friday, May 10th. Red carpet office tour. You come here.
My birthday is in May too, so those who want to bring presents, it's okay.
Birthday gifts. So the tour will start at around 2:30. We'll do the tour, and then we're going to do a full call to action live broadcast. If you guys, I mean, you've been watching your emails, the Skype groups, all these things going on right now, and we are fast and furious, translating things left and right, doing product enhancements and updates left and right, new product developments left and right. If you have not seen the Believe recap, my gosh, you could spend a whole hour just recapping everything that went on during that event, the success stories, the photos, and all the things that have happened. Just
show me another company in this industry that puts out the quality of marketing stuff that we do. I mean, I know I'm a little biased, but I've been around for 20 plus years in this industry, so I know. So it's something you should be very proud of.
And so with that said, make sure you email support@talkfusion.com to RSVP for the 10th. And we look forward to rolling out that red carpet for all of you. Now, speaking of travel, Bob and I are hitting the road. We are taking the Believe event. It's all about Believe. And we're taking it to Yekaterinburg, Russia on the 25th and 26th. It's listed under the World Leader Tour in the back office. You can register. Guys, this is an open event. You want to go to Russia, come join us. I mean, there are so many of us going to be at this event.
Yeah, we love going to Russia. It's a lot of fun. Associates are great. They're excited. Yeah. They're so thankful. I'm telling you, for those of you, you should really go if you can. It's
opportunity of a lifetime.
It really is. It's a very neat experience. Russia is a beautiful country, beautiful people. I mean, it's a great time actually.
So speaking of this, I mean, so after Russia, we get back. We're only back for a short period of time, and then Bob and I are taking off to Hawaii, and we are taking all these associates with us. The Dream Getaway winners were announced. The ones that were present at the Believe event were recognized. That's the picture you see there. They're all, I know, we look all great with our plumeria lays, and you're going to be getting those when we get there. And we have a power pack trip for you. I am going to get away soon for next year, so there's still time. If you didn't make the qualification this year, next year is your year.
Don't worry, we'll take a lot of video on the beach. And,
we'll take pictures.
That's a luau. Yeah, we'll do that. Right, with the beautiful sunset behind us, and yeah, we'll make sure
it'll all be good.
We'll make sure that you get to share it with us.
And then you'll have plenty of time to qualify to be there with us next year. So that's.
If you want to go next year, you have to start putting the revenue-producing activities into place now to get going.
That's it. And then we're headed. Bob and I are headed to do the whole Believe event in Indonesia. So we're excited about that as well, and that's in September. We're going to be there for 3 days, the 6th, 7th, and 8th. The actual main event is on the 8th, and we're going to have information on how to purchase tickets and all of that soon as well. And then the leadership is going to be joining us there too, so we're excited about that event.
It'll be our first time to Indonesia.
It is. It will be our first time to Indonesia, and we're excited about it.
I'm telling you, they're doing great in Indonesia. They are absolutely off the chain with excitement. So keep it up, everybody.
Keep up the great work, and we're just going to hit the road, and we're going to take this excitement worldwide. And guys, as Bob always says, bring us your dreams. We'll help you do the rest. Watch for more broadcasts. Watch for translations. Watch for new newsletter designs.
As a matter of fact, I think there's some more coming out today, right?
We have some more coming out today.
What categories are there?
It is video gaming.
Video gaming.
Crafts. And
arts and crafts, yeah.
Yes, arts and crafts and education. So anything having to do with tutoring and teachers and all that good stuff. We have so many categories I lose track. And then I have even more coming, so we're
many more actually.
Yeah, we're excited about that.
That was guys, listen, that was a test. I caught Allison, but she passed it. She did good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, my team's in my good.
You remembered on your own.
It's all good.
Scott's holding up cue cards.
Yeah, they're all behind me. They're helping me out, just like the teleprompter. So with that, guys, it's been a pleasure. It's been 30 minutes. Thank you for taking the time. Get out there, start making your list. And here's the good thing. You could even start today. Like, you could go and just start and make a list of 25 people today.
I promise you, there's people out there that want to make money.
And you will see results. You will, I promise you. And those are the people we're recognizing weekly. So with that, everybody have a fantastic afternoon.
We'll talk to you soon.
On behalf of all of us, have a great